Hello and welcome back to the Broken Doll, and today we're going to come and we're going to start to put the color back into this doll's arm. So the thing is about it is that it's not a thing that happens rapidly. It's going to take time, but we're going to start. So I'm going to take her and I'm going to take her hair, and maybe we can wrap a towel around her hair or just over her face like this. Here, that's a good idea. We can just do that with her. Alright, there we go. And I love the fact that her body twists so we can get her up on an angle. Alright. And that way you can see it as well. Now, one thing I noticed in my videos, what I was doing was, I was getting my arm in the way, so you can't see everything. I noticed that. So I'm going to try to keep my arm out of the way as best as I can. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to move back a bit. There we go. There we are. So you can see this a lot better. There we go. Okay, what am I using here? I've seen this done, and it does work. It works very nice. I've already done a couple dolls with it already, this method. I use soft pastels, and I use... let's take it first before I jump into it. When we look at this doll, the colors that you see, if we come up close on this doll, I see the color orange. There's an orange hue to her. So we're going to take the colors orange, and there's also like a red in her. So we're going to take the colors orange and red, and we're going to start replacing them back into the doll. Even some pink a bit. So let's try this out. I'm going to use a makeup sponge first. Let's try this out. The sponge. If this doesn't work, I have a brush sitting here. And I've got my orange sitting right here in some water. And so what I do is, I dab my little piece of orange. Oh, there's my arm again. Let's see if you can get this so you can see. There's my orange. I'll probably just show this a few times. And I just dab. I've dunked it in my water. And now I'm coming here. And I'm just picking up the color of orange on her first. So now all I'm going to do, just come down here. And I'm just going to start dabbing her arm with this orange. And as I do it, it starts to dry right away because it's just a hint of this color into her arm. What I like about the makeup sponges is that it blends. You want to blend, where if you do it with a brush, you don't get the blending that you're looking for. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, is that nice. See, it's already drying as I speak. I hope you can see this. Now this might have to be done over several, and you don't want to over wet your sponge either. Just enough to wet your there we go, see it there? And now I'm going to come onto the inside of her arm. That's my son sleeping over there. He's snoring. Just ignore him. Alright. Now it's picked up some of that orange already. If you can, I don't know if you can see that difference already. But I can see that it's picked up some of that orange. But orange is not enough. Okay, that's not going to just do it on its own. So we're going to let that dry for a few minutes here, and then we're going to try. Doesn't take much. We're going to try some pink. Okay? So you can see I've used it before. It's broken. You're going to use different sponges. And you get the pink dye. Okay, it's dried already. It doesn't take long for it to dry. I don't think I got enough of the... There we go. Now we're going to put that pink on here. If you don't think it's wet enough, just take it and wet it some more if you find that it's getting blotchy. And we're just going to keep blending those two colors in together with one another until we achieve the color of the rest of the doll. It does take time. This is not going to happen just like boom, you know, type of thing. Okay, now we're going to come down on this side of it, get some more of that pink in there. Try to keep my hand out of the way as much as my big arm. It's almost like a dry, very, very dry sponge, but with there's a little bit of moisture in it. But I hope you can see that the color is starting to pick up a bit. It's getting there. Not there yet, of course, but we're coming. You don't want these blotches up here, like where it's getting dark pink. You want to get that all blended in there, so. And that's why I have a towel sitting here, because if I feel my sponge is too wet, you dab yours. You can see where I dabbed it there to get some of that moisture out, because you're just going to take your color off if you don't, you know, you get it too wet. It has to go on there with some color. There's some color. It's just a slow process. I'm trying to blend this back to the color it used to be. Getting up there near the shoulder is tricky because the doll's put together. If you had the arm, just the arm itself, you could do so much better. But that's not going to be the case. I got to be careful because I don't want to get this on the doll itself. Now if you feel that you need another sponge to blend, do so. And remember, if you think you got too much color, you can always take it out with water. It's not that set in yet. You haven't sealed it or anything. So you can see I'm taking some back off because it's too strong in one area. So if you feel that's the problem with it, take it out with water. This is all with water, so. But it does stain the doll and get the doll's color back into where it needs to be again. And now the color's slowly returning. I can see the color coming back to this doll. Like I said, base it in orange first. I really like the makeup sponges. Now when it gets into the real tight areas, like you really want to get into this area, this is where I just might take my brush. Okay, and again, just rub it across that. I might try to get in to these areas in here, but again, it's hard to blend. This is where it gets hard to blend. So you want to make sure. And this won't be perfect, but it'd be a lot better than what she is with that arm that's not the same color. So we're going to get right in there. Boy, it's really coming along quite nice. But again, you want to make sure you're getting in there. You just don't want it to be all pink, you know, because that's not the color of the doll. It's all about blending, taking your time and blending it in. Wow, it's starting to come. She's starting to turn. Yeah, it's absorbing the paint, the dye out of the pastel. And it's really starting to come along pretty good here. And it doesn't take long for it to dry. And sometimes what I do now, I'll probably step away and I'll come back to it again. So maybe, whoops, maybe we'll call this part 1 of this here. And we'll come back again and we'll see if we need another coat. But like I say, I base everything on my orange first. You know, and wow, that's really come along quite nicely. Now I still see some fading in the hands there, that fading color. So let's wet our brush again. Get some of our pink again. There we go. And let's blend. Get back to blending it again. And you might find some areas that will not receive it as well as others. And it happens because this is old vinyl, so you get it in where you can. Just keep blending as much as you can. Boy, that arm has really taken shape. I hope you can see the difference on it now. I hope it's picking up the colors of it. Let's get in there a little closer on it. You know, it's really, in the camera it doesn't show it, but I can see it myself. I hope you're seeing this. This is exciting to see it take its shape and color and everything. Okay. We're going to let that sit for a little bit. Now, what you're going to do is make sure you take your brush and keep it in the water, because this is all water-based. So you want, you want to make sure that that stays like that. Now let's just take her and let's just hold her up like this for right now. We're going to let that dry, and we're going to come back later, and we're going to see just how much more we have to add to this. We might have to add a little bit more. Like I said, you can always take it back out with water again. So, whoa, 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 whoa. I've lost you there. Sorry about that. What I don't want to happen is happening. So, the thing is that she's turned out quite nicely. I hope it's picking it up. In my camera here, it looks yellow. But in reality, she's getting very close to the color of her body. So she needs a little bit more red, I would think. And I think we're on our way. Like, we're getting pretty close. All right, everybody. I hope you were able to see most of this. You know, and like I say, a lot of this can be taken right back out with water if you've got too strong of a color. You can weaken it with just water, wipe it back down again, start again with a blank canvas. But this is looking good. It's not too blotchy. I'm pretty pleased with this. I think this is doing really quite well. And you can use different parts of your sponge as well to, if you think a color, I think it's just a little bit too strong in here with red. You know, I might come back and start orange again. It's a mixture of that orange and pink, getting that flesh tone, layer by layer by layer, and allowing it to absorb into the vinyl. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to let it sit. I'm going to come back again. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Thank you for joining me, and more to come. Bye-bye.